And we are rolling. This House believes we should arm everyone. On the affirmative, Warren. On the negative, Key Hang.
Hi everyone, I'm Warren.
Hi, Warren.
I represent the government on the topic of arm everyone. I'm going to go to the definition first. Arm. It's a weapon, especially a firearm. Everyone. Every United States citizen or permanent resident in the United States above age 18. And then I'll clarify this is just additional new law. So all previous gun laws exist, such as the open carry law, concealed carry law, the regulation of automatic weapons. So what is the problem? First, people do not have proper protection against criminals. And second, there's a wide misconception about the usage of guns. So first, people do not have proper protection against criminals. According to the Washington Examiner poll in 2014, the amount of households that own guns in the United States is only at 39%. According to the FBI crime statistic in 2013, there was an estimated 1,900,000 burglaries. 60% of these burglaries involved forcible entry, and 6.5% were attempted forcible entry. Burglaries of residential properties account for 75% of all burglary offenses. Moving on to robberies, there was 345,000 robberies nationwide in 2013, which means that 60% of households were defenseless against burglaries or robberies. Second, there's a wide misconception about the usage of guns. One of the arguments people make about the increased amount of guns is that it will lead to more violent crimes committed. However, according to gunpolicy.org, there has been a 10% decrease in households owning a firearm from 1996 to 2012. But the amount of deaths from firearms have increased slowly each year from 29,000 in 1999 to 32,000 in 2011. So how big is the problem? First, police response to 911 calls are extremely slow. According to the Washington Times, the average response time was 8 minutes and 25 seconds in 2003, and 7 minutes and 19 seconds in 2002. According to the Wall Street Journal in 2013, the national average for the police to respond to a 911 call is 11 minutes. This response time is even longer in cities with police departments underfunded, such as Detroit, who has an average response time of 58 minutes. So people cannot rely on the police for help when crime is occurring because the response time is extremely slow. People need to be armed in order to defend themselves against criminals. Second, there is no correlation between gun control and less violent crime. An independent research paper titled "Would Banning Firearms Reduce Murder and Suicide?" published in Harvard's Journal of Political Law and Policy, the Dombey case compared data from the U.S. and parts of Europe showed that stricter laws did not mean there is less crime. In Russia, there is strict gun laws and only 4,000 per 100,000 people own guns, but the murder rate was high at 20 per 100,000 people in 2002. In Finland, gun ownership is higher at 39,000 per 100,000 people, and the murder rate was only at 2 people per 100,000 people. The United States, with around 207 million firearms, much more than any of these European countries, comes in seventh in the murder rate between Russia, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, and Ukraine in 2002. Third, the states with the most guns have a lower violent crime rates than those with less guns. It's impossible to track exactly how many guns are owned in each state, but we're going through the FBI's National Instant Background Check data. We can see how many background checks are performed in each state by licensed gun dealers. The FBI data shows that in 2012, Kentucky had the most background checks with 79,000 background checks per 1,000 people. Its violent crime rate was 200 per 1,000 people, and the murder rate was 3.8 per 1,000 people. California was 44 with about 3,600 background checks per 100,000 people, and its violent crime was 400 per 100,000 people, and the murder rate was almost double that of Kentucky, at 4.6 per 100,000 people. So why do we have this problem? Well, the media has been putting all the blame on guns, creating more controversy about gun control regulations. After this, gun ownership has dropped 14% from 1989 to 2012. According to the Washington Post, after the Columbine shooting in 1999, Congress passed one major law restraining gun control. And after the Virginia Tech shooting in 2007, Congress passed another law improving the national background check, making it even harder for people to get a gun. But despite these laws, mass shooters were still able to buy guns legally. According to Mueller Jones, in May 2014, there has been 69 mass shootings across the country since 1982, and all these guns presented by the killers, more than 3/4 were detained legally. Elliot Rogers in the UC Santa Barbara shooting bought 3 guns legally from federal licensed dealers. And James Hole and the Colorado movie theater were also bought legally. He bought 4 guns in local shops and over 6,000 rounds of ammunition on the internet. So this shows that gun control regulations does not stop mass shooting, as they will continue to happen despite more gun control regulations. So what is the solution? Arm everyone. Second, require everyone above the 18 to take mandatory firearm class. And third, make all states require permit for open carry and concealed carry laws. And fourth, you limit the amount of open permits for open carry and concealed carry each year. Will the solution work? Arming everyone will work because it acts as a deterrent against criminals. Criminals will think twice before they decide to legalize their home, which will lower crime rates in each state but not totally eliminate it. Second, open carry and concealed permit laws will also help lower crime rates that do not involve robbery crimes. According to the Washington Times, August 24, 2014, Illinois started granting concealed carry permit laws, and the murder and robberies have led to arrests in Chicago have declined 20% from last year. The burglary rates and motor vehicle death were down 20 and 26% respectively. In the first quarter, the city's homicide rate was at a 56-year low. The advantages from our proposal: arming everyone would reduce the robbery and burglary crime rates. Second, people with felonies and mental illnesses will not be allowed to carry guns in public, but will only be used as home defense at home. Third, everyone will know the basics on how to use a gun. And fourth, it will eliminate most of the black market for guns. What are the disadvantages? Well, some people may claim that it may be infringing on everyone's Second Amendment rights, that everyone has the right to bear arms. But the Constitution is a living Constitution which can be amended. And second, people will be forced to pay for a gun they do not want otherwise. And third, children may have access to a gun if it's not properly secured. So on balance, which outweighs? Arming everyone is the right choice because it's the best deterrent against any crime. Second, it has been shown that in states with more guns, there is less violent crimes committed. And third, criminals will commit a crime no matter what, so the best defense is to have the best gun. So I now stand for cross-examination.
Thank you very much. The chair will now entertain a cross-examination not to exceed 3 minutes in length. You both come together before the podium, center up a little bit. Okay, thank you. There you go. Bond, that's good. Yeah, very good, yeah. Boy, you're tall. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. You begin.
Okay, so you are talking about there is no correlation between gun control and less
You don't look at
violence.
him, you look at the audience.
Okay.
They're trying to persuade them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you are talking about there is no correlation between gun control and less violence. So what do you mean about no correlation?
So states with the most guns have less violent crime rates than those with less guns, which means there is no correlation between more guns in the state and more crimes.
Okay. So, so do you think everyone can reduce the criminal rate?
Yes, as I just said, states with the most guns
Yes, so there
have
is
less
some
violent crime
correlation.
rates.
Okay, so do you think the mentally ill people can have gun?
Yes, it says everyone, we will arm everyone. There is no correlation between mental illnesses and dangerous crime rates.
Actually, there is nickel. Yeah, okay, so even the criminal history people can have gun?
Yeah, they got the gun, but they can't take it out because in order to take a gun out, you need an open carry permit or a concealed carry permit, which requires a background check. So you don't have a gun at home, but you can't take it out.
So you mean people cannot open carry the gun?
They can if they apply for a permit and pass the background checks and stuff.
Okay. And so do you agree if everyone, the government will cost a lot of money?
Yeah, it will cost a lot of money, but the government can subsidize the first gun purchases for your first time gun purchases, which will save people money.
So who should pay for this? The government or the people?
Half and half, I guess.
So, yeah. Okay, so do you think it will cause some economic decline?
No, it won't.
Look at your audience, not him.
Oh, okay. So,
You're trying to persuade them.
okay.
Yeah.
It won't because guns are that expensive, and we're contributing to the economy, which will increase the U.S. economy.
And so you use Russia to be an example, but do you think the Russia is similar to the United States? can we use Russia to be an example?
It's not similar, but you can kind of compare it because you have like similar population, you have less gun law, you have more stricter gun laws, but the crime rate is much higher.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so do you know the Colorado gun shooting in the movie theater?
Yes.
So do you think everyone can stop those gun shooting?
No, because
No?
those criminals will have they already bought the guns legally, and they're already thinking about killing people, even without any gun control regulations. They're already killing people.
Okay.
That's time. Thank you so much. The chair will now recognize the leader of the opposition for his constructive speech not to exceed 7 minutes, speaking against the motion that we should arm everyone.
Hi, I'm Ki-Han.
Hi, Ki-Han.
And I'm gonna keep talking about everyone. First, resolutional analysis and definition. This proposition is to be presented as a policy case in negative. And I agree with the definition that weren't given to us, so I don't need to recall it again. Second, what is the problem? A, Americans already have too much gun. We don't need to arm them again. According to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearm, by the end of 1996, the total amount of firearms that civilians own are 252 million, and the number increasing to the 294 million in the 2007. This number is almost same as the population of US. We already have a lot of guns. There is no necessary to arm again. B, based on the definition, everyone means every United States citizen in the US above the age of 18. So it including the mentally ill people and the criminal history people. However, let those people have gun is dangerous for the society. For the mentally ill people, the government already banned some of them cannot have gun last week by Nickel. Yeah. And C, according to the Constitution, the Second Amendment to the United States protect the right of individuals to keep and bear arms. So even the arm cause some serious problem, the government cannot ban guns. Okay, D, everyone is not a way to protect people, but let people more dangerous. O'Brien is one of the famous journalists in Australia. In 2013, he did a research and found in US, having one or more guns in the home is related to a 2.7 and 5.8-fold increase in the risk of a member of that household dying from the homicide or the suicide. In the other words, if the people have more guns in their home, they have more probability to be killed. Also, guns are really used to kill criminal or stop crime. According to the New York Times 2013, from 2007 to 2011, the annual averaging number of self-protective behavior involving in a firearm by victims are 67,640. Compared with the firearm used by the criminal, it's just a small amount of people. So only a few people can use arms to protect themselves, but the gun are most likely used by the crime to harm the people. 3, how big is the problem? A, this problem are related to the safety of every single citizen. And I will give some example of gun violence. In July 2012, 12 people were killed and 58 people injured when a man equipped with 2 handguns, a shotgun, and a rifle opened fire in a crowded movie theater in Colorado. Just a month later, in December 2012, a man shot in his way into Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, killed 20 children and 6 adults. In September 2013, a man entered the Washington, D.C. Navy Yard armed with a rifle, a handgun, and a shotgun, and murdered 12 people before he killed himself. Gun caused a lot of tragedy. And also, this problem are related to the economy. Everyone will cost a large number of money. Who will pay for it? Is the government or the citizen? If the citizen pay for it, how about the poor people? Is that mean the rich people can better than the poor people. And if the government pay for it, instead was, it may cause the economic decline. 4. Why do we have the problem? The reason of the problem are the laxity of American gun control law, and the background check system doesn't work. There is a record gap. The FBI database currently contains record for about 89,570 people who should be prohibited from buying gun because the mentally healthy problem. And only 6 states provide mentally healthy record to FBI database. The background check system only record a few people, so it doesn't work. Okay, so what is the solution? First, the government should not allow the criminal background and the mentally ill people have gun. Therefore, we cannot arm everyone. Next, we need to reform the gun control law. And Professor Obama also wants to reform the gun control law. After the Sandy Hook shooting, President Obama wants to reform the gun control law. He introduced stricter gun control in the U.S., but on April 17, 2013, the Senate rejected the President Obama proposal to strengthen federal gun control law. Obama described it as the shameful day of Washington. However, even the Congress rejected this act. 8 states made a significant change to the gun control law after it. So it means the government tend to reform the gun control law. C. Reform the background check system. Let the dangerous people can have gun. And we need to ban the private transition of gun. It means we cannot borrow and sell our gun to others. And we can only get gun from the legal gun dealer. Okay. Will the solution work? The stricter gun control law work in Australia, so we should believe it also can work in US. Before the 1996, Australia have a similar gun control law with US. But in the 1996, Australia reformed a gun control law. The key components of this reform including a ban on civilian ownership of semi-automatic long gun and pump-action shotgun. After the reform, the rate of firearm homicide decreasing to 7.5 per year after the new law. The firearm-related suicide in Australia men declined from 3.4 to 1.3 per 100,000 people per year. It is a 59.9% decline between 1997 to 2005. So we should believe the stricter gun control law can reduce the criminal rate. Now I'm ready for the cross-examination.
Thank you very much. The chair will now entertain a cross-examination between the two parties, not to exceed 3 minutes in length.
Okay, I'm asking you some question.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think America is safe right now?
Not really. America is not safe because we have too much gun. And the bad people, it's too easy to get a gun, so we are not safe.
So what about the 60% of the households that do not own guns? With the higher amount of burglary rates and robbery rates, what are you going to do when the robberies come?
I think we should let the police protect ourselves, but no, we cannot.
Out here.
And we cannot protect ourselves because only a few people can use gun to protect ourselves. And if we have more gun, the bad people is most likely to use them. Yeah. So let police.
Well, we cannot depend on the police because the response time is extremely high. So you're saying you're short of luck if you come in the house with a gun, and they come in the house and you have no guns?
But even if you have gun, only a little chance you can use this gun. Like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're pushing for more gun control laws, right?
Yeah, sure.
So after these mass shooting events in Colorado, Virginia Tech, Congress passed more gun control regulations, like hoping mass shooters will stop. But for the Ucla bar shooting, Colorado shooting, these shooters got their guns after these laws were passed legally. So
Yeah.
how would you pass more laws to regulate it?
Yeah.
These guys were legally.
So I think the reason of after the reform is still happen is we need to reform again. Yeah. So we need a better background check system. We need to ban the private transition of gun. Yeah, we can only get gun from the legal gun dealer. Yeah.
So what about the black market?
Black market,
Would that increase if we ban the guns?
it is another problem. It's not everyone, it's a black market problem. So, yeah, there is a problem, but we need another road to. Yeah, we need another road to solve this problem.
So don't you think if you ban guns, then the black market will increase? 'Cause the amount of guns stolen each year right now is around 200,000. So you ban all guns, don't you think the black market will increase for criminals to buy guns?
No, black gun is just a small amount. You cannot say people can buy gun from black market, so we should arm everyone. Because only a few people buy gun from the black market, and most people get gun from the legal gun dealer. Yeah, so background check system work. Yeah.
That's all? Okay. Thank you very much. Chair will now recognize the leader of the government for his rebuttal, a 4-part refutation, we hope.
My opponent said that with more guns available, the people committing more crime. But however, I disagree because according to my statistics, Kentucky had the most background checks of any state to buy guns legally. But this crime rate was significantly lower than California and Maryland, who were ranked 44th and 46th. Crime rates were down half of California and Maryland. Therefore, we should arm everyone.
Good.
My opponent also said that by arming mentally ill people, it will be dangerous for society. However, I disagree because there is no correlation between mentally ill people and violent crimes. Therefore, we should arm everyone. My opponent also says that we need to have more gun control laws. However, I disagree because there's already been many gun control regulations after these mass shooting events in Virginia and Colorado. But it has not stopped recent mass shootings in UC Santa Barbara and Colorado. Therefore, we should arm everyone. And arming everyone is the best choice because it's the best deterrent against any other crime. Criminals will think twice before entering a home because they know there's consequences if everyone's armed. And it has been shown that in states with more guns, there's less violent crimes committed. Additionally, criminals will commit violent crime whether or not they have a gun. Such as in other countries where gun controls are more strict, there are still high murder rates despite more gun control regulations. So murder rates will not go down if there are less guns. Yeah.
You have 2 minutes left. You want to summarize or say why you won the debate, why we should arm everyone? Repeat your evidence, perhaps? Or you want to just go throw it in and hope on faith?
There's been a city in the United States that passed a law that armed everyone. According to USA Today, Kennesaw, Georgia, with a population of about 30,000, passed a law in 1982 that requires all residents to own a gun. After this law was passed, crime rates plummeted by 90% compared to a 10% statewide drop. And there was 11 burglaries per 100,000 residents before the law, and 2.7 after the law was passed, meaning that gun control regulations, arming everyone lower the crime rates. And then other small towns and cities have started to pass similar ordinances, such as Spring City, Utah, passing an ordinance in early 2013 that recommended that every household owns a gun. So we should arm everyone.
Okay, thank you. You had 1 minute left, but that's cool. Thank you very much. Let's go now to the rebuttal from the opposition, not to exceed 4 minutes in length.
Hi, so I want to mention two things. First, there is correlation between gun control and the criminal rate. The second thing is the more gun cannot protect people better. So Warren believes there is no correlation between gun control and less violence, but I don't agree. According to my research, for example, in Chicago, the stricter gun control made less violence. In Chicago, 2012, they record 503 murder, this number is more than in any other U.S. city, so they rewrite the gun control law. This new gun control law is against the Constitution, but it worked. 1 year later, in 2013, the murder number decreasing to 415. It means the new gun control law saved more than 100 people's lives. Okay, the next. Warren believes more guns can protect people better, but according to my research, I don't agree. Okay, so according to the New York Times, from the 2007 to 2011, the annual average number of self-protective behavior involving in a firearm by victims are only 67,750. Compared with the firearm used by the bad people, it's just a small amount. So if we have more guns, the bad people are gonna have more guns. And so, but also, the people cannot protect ourselves by the gun. And so, and also, everyone will cost a lot of money, and it will cause economic decline. Therefore, everyone is not a way to protect people while waste money. And my solution can save money, can make the public safety, can reduce the gun shooting. Also, my solution can reduce the probability that people killed by gun, including the murder and suicide. And also, my solution also keep the citizens' basic right. It means people can still have gun, but we have a stricter gun control law. People still can have gun. And if you need a gun to protect yourself, you still can apply for it, then you can use it. But in my opinion, most people don't need a gun. And also, Warren used Russia to be an example, and I don't agree with it. Because in Russia, it's totally different with the United States. Because Russia have a lot of political issue, the military conflict, and the drug. And also, everyone knows the alcohol problem. So we cannot use Russia to be an example. Like in China or in Japan, no one can have gun, and the criminal rate is really, really low. So we should use China or Japan to be an example. Okay, that's it. So don't vote for everyone. For better tomorrow, for safety. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now it's time for you to look over your notes and to vote individually. You should fill out your ballot. You should have the name of the resolution on the top. You should have the two gentlemen's names written on the ballot. You should sign it legibly so we know who's voting. You're sick, huh? But you still came to class. Very good. Yeah. He's giving it to him.
Sorry, I think I built a pretty good immune system.
I already gave it to two.
Shame on you. Okay, just collect them for me for a minute, please.
Ucla. Don't forget to change your battery.
Thank
One of the classes, oh my god, so shit. How much do you think I just have to do?
Do I have all the ballots?